So I spent the entire 4th of July weekend completely on edge, waiting for a Kevin Durant and or Kyrie Irving trade, only to find out today that the Brooklyn Nets are operating as if Kevin Durant and Kyrie are going to be on the roster next season. And I will say, part of me kind of enjoys it. I ain't gonna lie, man, because I feel like if there was any superstars in the NBA to do this big thing, only to result in being like, you know what, the roster's actually looking pretty good. I'm so cool with my teammates and stuff. I think it would be Kevin Durant and or Kyrie Irving. So we have quite a few things to talk about for today's video. As you guys can see over there, no, that's not filmed on a potato. That's actually, back in the 90s. We got some Michael Jordan highlights. That's because NBA 2K23 trailer just dropped today. And yeah, man, I got a lot to say about that too later on in this video. But speaking of NBA 2K, as a lot of you guys know, the foundation of this channel was built on NBA 2K, and with trying to take this channel in a new direction, I still find myself missing making NBA 2K content at times. So I have a third channel. It's got about 10K subscribers called Crispy Flakes 2K. You can find that in the link probably in the comments or description, someplace like that. And I will be doing consistent NBA 2K content over there. Crispy Flakes 2K. There's already a Brooklyn Nets rebuild over, man. Please go check it out if you enjoy that type of content. But okay, man. So, yeah, Summer League starts tomorrow. The big name free agents, not the players, in rumors like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, are pretty much like, there's a few guys left, but for the most part, it's kind of slowing down a bit. The big, large thing of news probably isn't going to be happening too much anymore as opposed to like when free agency first started. But there's going to be some stories in between here, man. So let's go ahead and get going on this. I'm going to talk to you guys about all the things that I caught today. Really wasn't too much though. We have people around the league expect the Knicks to get penalized for tampering with Jalen Brunson. It was actually really funny because Jalen Brunson's contract and what he was going to get paid was like announced before he actually signed, before free agency even began, at least the general idea. Then about an hour into free agency, you saw Woj post a tweet saying basically like Jalen Brunson is on his way to the New York Knicks headquarters to discuss his contract. And we're all just like, man, that's cap. Like, I bet somebody on New York probably sent Woj a text saying, hey, man, we're trying to, save that first round draft pick. Please tweet this out here. Let people know this is the first time we're speaking to Jalen Brunson. So, I don't know, man. Like, Brunson better become, all-star would be a good start. Superstar would be great. But they're definitely sacrificing a lot to get him on the team. And I do like him a lot, though, man. But damn, it better work out for the sake of the New York Knicks fan base. And beyond that, we have TJ Warren signed with the Brooklyn Nets, which kind of brings us on to the main story of today's video. So, like I was saying, this is via Shams. So, Shams definitely a very reliable source saying, report the Nets are making free agency moves as if Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are returning next season. So right now, the current Nets roster is looking like this. KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Patty Mills, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, TJ Warren, Cam Thomas, and like some other bench dudes and stuff like that. But for the most part, man, that's actually a really solid team. I love the TJ Warren signing because they got him on a one-year deal. We don't know exactly what he's going to be like when he comes back because, back when he was playing in the bubble, he was actually one of the best players out there, man. Like, he had like a 50-point game, great three-level score. He is 29 now, but coming off major injuries like that, you just don't really know how a player's going to bounce back. You don't really expect him to live up to the peak that he was before his injury and everything like that. But regardless, I like TJ Warren as the potential just like low risk, high reward move for the Brooklyn Nets, which they definitely need right now. But beyond that, if they do lose Kevin Durant, it's like you still have a 3-level scorer, a veteran that can play that power forward or small forward position. So it was a really good signing. But in general, I'm looking at this team right here. I'm kind of trying to like formulate what the starting five would look like. And I'm thinking based off of what I see here, you would want to go with the starting five of Kyrie Irving. I'm going to say Seth Curry, TJ Warren at the 3, Kevin Durant at the 4, or vice versa. And I'm going to say Ben Simmons at the 5, man. I really want to see Ben Simmons play the 5 for the Brooklyn Nets. And, they don't have any big guys on the team. I guess they got Nicholas Claxton like signed to a 2-year deal. He's nice. I still think I'd rather take the risk of Ben Simmons at the 5 spot and just like have everybody on that team, well, except Ben Simmons, that can shoot. And I think that would just kind of like take away that weakness of Simmons. Now, it would be interesting because obviously he would have the basketball in his hands a lot less. He's used to playing point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers. So I don't know exactly how that would go, but even like imagine you're a center in the NBA and Ben Simmons is bringing the ball up and you have to D him up, and around him, you have TJ, KD, Seth Curry, Joe Harris when he plays. Did I say Kevin? Yeah, I said KD. Seth Curry. It's like you got all these shooters around Ben Simmons. I think it would be really awesome to watch. I think the Nets would have really good success over it. But regardless, if Kevin Durant and or Kyrie Irving get traded, then, you still have Ben Simmons and TJ Warren on the team, and you're going to get whatever players you get in return for those guys. It just, I think it's at the point, which was my greatest concern. For one, it looks like all the traction with the Lakers and Kyrie is just off right now. The Nets don't want Russell Westbrook, and I can't say I blame them. Like, nobody would have done a Kyrie Irving Russell Westbrook trade a year ago. Nobody's doing it now. And I could see like where the Nets are just like, why would we do you this favor? We know that Kyrie still gets along with Kevin Durant just fine. And when it comes down to it, man, like we know that Russell Westbrook's not going to work with Ben Simmons. So why even take on that mess, Now, if Kyrie and KD can come to terms and everything and run it with this team, which I think there's a very good chance they're going to do. I really think so, man. I do think Kevin Durant, probably was getting kind of caught up emotionally in some of the things that Draymond Green's been saying on the podcast. And, obviously the Warriors won the championship. So that kind of damaged Kevin Durant's legacy in a way where it's just like, oh, they didn't need you, man. And which they didn't. Let's call it like it is. Like, that's not a surprise to anybody at all, but that's kind of how it is. And I can see KD's like, man, I want to go to a different team. I want to beat the Warriors down, man. I'm going to join the Phoenix Suns. But all things considered, I would respect Kevin Durant. And I know Kevin Durant doesn't care about my respect. He doesn't care about the media's respect. He doesn't care about anybody's respect, man. It's like he's going to do his best for him, and that's fine. But I think when it comes down to it, though, if he stays with this Nets team, makes them a great team, everybody's healthy, then I think that would be a lot better for basketball. I think it would be a lot better than basketball as opposed to Kevin Durant just joining some contender, dismantling that team, and just doing it that way. And that's the big disconnect, man. There's not really any Kyrie trades out there, but there's not a Kevin Durant trade either, which makes sense for the Nets, which doesn't result that the team that Kevin Durant's going to be just completely discombobulated. Discombobulated? Is that the word of the day? Yo, where you at, Pee Wee Herman? Oh, damn, that's an old reference. Damn, bro. Speaking of old, let's talk about NBA 2K23. So the trailer was released. Basically, it was Michael Jordan dunking the basketball. It's a callback to NBA 2K11 when they had the Jordan challenges, which was basically different scenarios you could play based off of Michael Jordan's career. Really cool idea, but also, once again, it's just that recycled habit of NBA 2K taking content out of the game for years and then years later recycling and saying, hey, this is brand new. And I get it to an extent. Oh, I almost dropped my phone, man. I get it to an extent just because, like Michael Jordan obviously is like an icon when it comes to basketball, right? So, I mean, it makes sense that they would use Michael Jordan, especially for 2K23. But at the same time, too, it would have been cool to see some LeBron scenarios in there. And even with that, I think it would be really cool that if they follow this pattern, that for every NBA 2K, find a player that was the best associated with that number. Next year, obviously, be Kobe Bryant. And keep on doing the scenarios thing. Like, don't just stop at Michael Jordan. There's plenty of other great moments in NBA careers out there. Or even go as far as making this like a new thing where like maybe every single month you release like a new scenario for a new player or something like that. I think that'd be really cool in a way to give it some uniqueness to it instead of just recycling old stuff over and over again. And man, I've been playing NBA 2K since like NBA 2K5. It was the year that Ben Wallace was on the cover. And I do remember, if you still have that game, pre-patch, pull it up, man. Go to the Indiana Pacers, find Troy Murphy, and go to practice mode and tap the shooting button. Man, he will flick it, and it will be a perfect release every single time. Pre-patch, though, man, one of the greatest glitches. Also, NBA 2K6, Jason Capono. But yeah, so I've been around 2K for a very long time, so I've seen a lot of the habits there, and I know that I'm 30 years of age. There's children out there that are just entering NBA 2K world the NBA 2K world for the first time. So them seeing like this new age scenarios with Michael Jordan getting to like live that for them, I think is pretty cool too. It's like, just because like I've lived it in the past doesn't mean they shouldn't revamp it for a new crowd. I'm totally in support of that, but as long as they add new things to the game over time, man. So yeah, real quick here, I've not read over any of these yet, just to let you guys know, but over on my Twitter account at ChrisFlakes2K, I asked you guys for a few different wish list ideas for NBA 2K23. If you guys want to let me know a few in the comment section below, that would be absolutely awesome to see. But let's see what we got here, man. So I'm trying to do my best just to like see like quick ones here. So we got Danny saying a My Team online feature. Basically, the host team is used to search against another team online. Then 4 players join the host team and face off against the other team of online players. I think it would be awesome. It would be similar to All-Star Team and Mutt Squads. We got Biggest Man saying start today. Yes, please bring back start today. Although it's better now that they got like this scenario thing in the game. Buyouts would be great for the My GM mode, My League. Realistic sliders, that's always a big thing. It's like it's always you can always get like Rudy Gobert for like a 2nd round pick or like Mitchell Robinson or somebody like that. More pick protections, goggles, and create a player. Yeah, with like the way that player creations are in games now, you feel like that would be like a big thing that they could add to these different games here, right, man? We got Tingus Pingus. He's got a picture of Bojan Bogdanovic as a picture saying a better draft mode in My Team and more incentive to play unlimited in My Team. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I think My Team is the worst thing to happen to NBA 2K. I think that was the beginning, obviously, of the microtransactions. But also, I don't know. I remember once upon a time, you know, when I was a mini flake out there playing NBA 2K, and you'd go to, like, Play Now mode or something, and I would use, like, Dwight Howard on the Magic, or I would use, like, Chris Bosh on the Toronto Raptors. When you were playing these games, you felt like these great players were better than the other players in the game. We've reached a point in 2K where I just think, like, especially like My Team mode, they got like a card for every single player. You can be Luke Kennard doing 360 dunks and stuff like that, and it just really ruined that part of it for me, man. But also, I think that the online association mode, that used to be my absolute favorite. Oh, I got so many stories. Maybe a story for another day, man. Maybe we'll do a little mini podcast about like my history with NBA 2K and why it's so important to me. But beyond that, you know, I'm sure there's probably been a few other free agent signings. I think Goran Dragic signed with the Bulls the other day. But for the most part, man, you know, we're kind of waiting for like Kevin Durant, Kyrie, see what goes on there. But it looks like they might be staying. That is all we have for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.